Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel. I'm Birds of Politics, and today we are going to be looking at the Greenlandic elections. Now, these elections were very interesting for a number of reasons, most importantly for the influence of Donald Trump and also just Greenland's gradual kind of drive towards independence. So in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at how the Greenlandic elections turned out and what they mean for countries like the United States and Denmark, who have been recently fighting over who gets to own Greenland, as well as what it means for the Greenlandic people themselves and the idea of Greenland's self-determination. So first, let's talk about the election. Here on this map, you can see four parties in the bottom right with their vote shares, but you can also see a clear geographic distribution. The south of the island, as well as many of the cities down there, voted for the Democratic Party, which is a center-right, slow independence party. Slow independence meaning that they want Greenland to be independent of Denmark, but they aren't asking for it right now. It's not really their first concern. In the northwest of the island, though, the Naleraq Party won, which is a centrist party which believes in rapid independence, immediate independence, meaning they want a referendum sooner rather than later, and they put this as their top issue for the election. Now, the big losers of the election were the Siumut and Inuit parties, which are two center-left parties who want independence, kind of like the Democrats and Naleraq. They all agree on independence. All four of the main parties agree on it. Only the fifth party, the smallest party, Atasut, believes that independence is not really a goal that they should be trying to pursue. But the other four parties all agree independence is something that Greenland wants and the Greenlandic people want. However, the issue is that these two center-left parties believe in it being somewhere between the Democrats and Naleraq, where Naleraq wants independence immediately, and the Democrats would prefer Greenland to develop itself and become self-sustainable before independence. The two center-left parties believe that there should be kind of a middle path, where they do want a referendum sooner rather than later, but they would also like to keep Greenlandic ties to Denmark. Now, hanging over the entire election was Trump saying that he wanted to take Greenland. Sometimes he was saying it would be by force. Sometimes he was saying that it would be by the Greenlandic people choosing to be part of the United States. However, it's kind of clear now, as the elections have come in, that people gravitated towards two different sides. The previous dominance of the center-left kind of moderate independence forces has faded away. Some people decided the only way that Greenland would not become part of the United States is to kind of stave off this by voting for a more slow independence party, which is why you see the Democrats making major gains when everyone thought they would kind of be in electoral oblivion. And on the other side, people said that the only way you could protect Greenland being Greenlandic would be for immediate independence, which is why Naleraq made such major gains. And now looking forward to what we can see is that Greenland is kind of in this weird double zone. On the one hand, there's the ideological makeup of Greenland. In 2021, it was dominated by the center-left and left-wing parties who believe that, there should be more social spending. They should not be drilling for oil in Greenland, for example, as opposed to the right-wing parties who were much smaller. But after these 2025 elections, you can see there was a huge shift towards parties that are at least more center or center-right on things like the economy, mostly because, at least in the case of Naleraq and the Democrats, they tend to be more clear in terms of their independence stance than Naleraq, of course, believing it should be immediate, and the Democrats believing that there should be some time to develop the economy first, which really sidelined the main talking points of the two center-left and left-wing parties who believe that Greenland should develop, but also be moving towards independence. That message kind of got muddled. However, if we look at the independence shakeup, you can see here this kind of center-left, left-wing idea of, okay, we want independence gradually, but not too gradually like what the Democrats want. These two parties in the middle have constantly attacked the Democrats for being kind of lax on the independence issue, believing that the Democrats are taking way too much time. Whereas Naleraq, they think, is much too aggressive with independence and potentially risks them playing into someone like Donald Trump's hands. But 2025 is clearly brought around a shift. I mean, you can see here just this middle section just completely falls out from under itself. the Democrats made major gains, especially among younger voters, actually turned towards the Democrats more than ever before. They also turned towards Nalaraq more than ever before. Whereas these two parties in the middle here, Siumut and the Inuit Party, they both kind of held steady among elderly voters who continue to believe that this kind of moderate independence, center-left course is the correct move for Greenland going forwards, whereas young voters were much more either scared of Donald Trump potentially trying to annex the island if it became independent, or in the case of Nalaraq, believe that independence is actually the best defense ahead of it. Now, there was only one party that actually was able to kind of be this weird, like, pro-Trump-ish course called QLEC, and they also are rapid independents because they are pro-Trump, and their chairman actually was the only chairman of the 6 major parties who said that they trusted Donald Trump. However, they didn't make it into the assembly. They only won 300 votes, which is good for a little more than 1% of the vote in Greenland, which is not enough to win any seats. Seats in Greenland are proportional, so even though you see the map here showing kind of a clear divide between the very immediate pro-independence northwest and the more gradual independence south of the island, the parties' seats were distributed proportionally based on how Greenland works. Parties need around 3% of total votes to gain seats, just based on how many seats there are, because there's no threshold, but there are only 31 seats in the Greenlandic parliament. So that is kind of the story for Greenland right now. Now, as for who's going to lead the island going forward, it's very much up in the air. Again, there's a big difference between the ideological map, which would suggest a Democrat and Nalaraq coalition of the center and center-right. And there's a big difference between that and, of course, the independence idea, where you see the Democrats kind of relying more on the center-left forces, or maybe Nalaraq relying more on the center-left forces, but they would be the ones holding the balance of power rather than Nalaraq in the case of an ideological makeup. So it's really a question, again, of if Greenland's leaders, the new leaders, who are probably going to be from the Democratic Party, decide that they want to make the next government focus either on independence, meaning gradual independence, or on economic issues, in which case they might choose to partner with Nalaraq. And of course, Nalaraq might object to this, so then you get back to the start. But hopefully this kind of made a little bit of sense to you. I'm Birds Politics. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.